guys, my name is Brenden Harrison and this is my road to recovery. Yeah, my old boy passed away in 2010 and it's pretty well been a downhill spiral from then, and broke my femur. I got a really good ride and broke my femur in a practice crash in 2010, and then had the rest of that season off. I came back from that and I was still having a fair bit of trouble with my leg and stuff, and ended up getting this screw out of my hip and seeing a new surgeon, and then raced all the 2011 MX National Series, and I had really bad groin pain. Went through a lot of rehabilitation, and had cortisone shots and pretty much everything I could do to try and fix it, but I still had really bad groin pain, couldn't really grip the bike very well. Organised with my new surgeon, Laurie Malasano, that straight after the 2011 series I would remove the rod from my leg, and hopefully that would be pretty good for the 2011 Supercross series. And I finished the motocross not very good. I struggled all year with my leg, as I explained, and got the rod out and then started training for Supercross, and the pain was still there in my groin really bad, and ended up seeing Laurie before it, and the only thing we could do was up to getting a CT scan of both the tops of my legs and just see what angle my top of my femur was on, and just see how it would be. And so I ended up racing the whole series of Supercross. I also struggled really hard with gripping, especially through the whoops, that helped me back a lot. I was running second in the championship. It was going really good. I won a round. Everything was going really good, and then I crashed at the second last round. A guy crashed in front of me and I got run over by both my legs by a couple of guys, and both my knees swelled up, so I DNF'd that race, and I think I ended up moving back to like third in the championship, and then come into the last round of the series and didn't get to ride the whole week before that, and couldn't really grip the bike, and ended up having a pretty nasty crash at the last round. And next thing I remember, I was waking up in the ambo again with broke the base of my skull, smashed my hand up a fair bit, and that was about it. I ended up seeing Laurie with the CT scan that I explained earlier with both my legs, and we ended up realising that the top of my femur was it was 39 degrees and off, pretty much centre off straight. So, and it'd been hitting my pelvis all year, so that kind of explained my groin pain, and toughing it out was probably all I could have done, but looking back, I wish I had got done earlier. So sitting there with a busted hand and a neck brace on, I get told that I got to re-break my femur and straighten it, put another rod back in there, screws again, hip and knee, and that's what I did. So got my femur re-broken, woke up from that operation pretty sore, woke up with a neck brace on and hand jaded, and femur was re-broken again. So that was pretty fun. And then ended up going away with my girlfriend and her family for a bit of a holiday over Christmas, and got back, and they opted not to do anything with my hand because they didn't want to obviously do another operation, because I just had my neck and my femur re-broken and so many operations before that. So they thought they'd leave it and put like a special splint on it, and hopefully it would heal good. But by the time I got back, my knuckles had been they'd grown right down. So I went and seen Steve Andrews, who's one of the top surgeons here in Brisbane, and he just said, mate, if you're not going to be able to grip, and I seriously couldn't grip, so we ended up having to re-break, two of my knuckles, straighten them, put plates in those, and then at the same time, I could nearly start training with my femur again, and my neck was pretty good. So Laurie and Steve, they're both top surgeons here, and they organised together. So at the same time, when Steve broke my knuckles and straightened them, Laurie pulled the screws out of my knee and hip. So that was really good. As soon as I got out of that, while my hand was recovering, I could start doing lower body stuff. And then I started training, riding, doing a few things, and had a new mechanic, and everything was going really good, and I was having a lot of fun with everything. And we went and raced the Queensland titles just as a start-off race, and we were, pretty much won every race there, but one race. And a come to the last race, got a flat tyre and lost that title, which, you know, it's just the Queensland title, but to me the bad luck was just like another kick in the rear. So, you know, we just put our head down and kept training, and then I came back for the Horsham National, which was my first race back. Qualified really good, got a third in the first race, and second race had some bike dramas, which was, you know, no one's fault. And then the last race I think I got like 6, which I was happy with, and ended up 6 overall. I was really happy with that, and I felt really confident going, you know, into the next round and looking forward to the Supercross series. I ended up coming back, everything was really good, felt really confident, and had my mechanic up, and we were doing some good motos in between the rounds, and was really looking forward to the next round of the Nationals, you know, having that one race under my belt after all I'd been through. And I think we're on the second moto of the day, and I ended up, you know, having another practice crash, which was just a bit of bad luck. And, you know, next thing I know is I broke my femur again. This time I just couldn't believe it. I was so bummed. I, you know, trained my butt off, went through all these operations, so much pain and suffering, and to know that it's happened again. And next thing I know, I'm getting airlifted to hospital and had to, you know, pull the rod out because there was still a rod in there, and put a thicker one in. And, you know, it was a really, really complicated break, this one, because it spiral fractured around the old rod. So, you know, I had my surgeon pretty like working hard on this one. And yeah, so I think I lost like 3/4 of my blood and woke up. And when I did wake up, he did mention that, you know, it was a really complicated break, and there may be a need for a bone graft down the track. But, you know, this was, and, you know, I think it was August of 2012, so, you know, that's pretty much shut me out of that year as well. And we opted to just leave it and not do the bone graft, you know. And then I ended up seeing him, I think, in October 2012, and he said, you know, it's moved and it looks like it may be doing it, but, you know, you still may need it. And I just said, look, I don't really want another operation. I've had so many now, and, you know, every time he does it, he cuts, you know, through stuff, and it takes me, you know, 5 steps back, and I'm, you know, took 1 step forward, so I'm just going backwards for, you know, every time. And went away on holidays and spent a little bit of time over there, and spent some time with my team over there as well, and I learned a few things about recovery and a lot of stuff. And I took it really easy with this one. I just wanted it to go really well, and I started training a little bit, come back, and felt really good. I started running again, and, you know, doing most things. I still knew I had to go in, you know, on the 31st and see if I needed a bone graft, and thought, nah, no way, I won't need one. And, you know, I went and seen him just with high expectations of not needing anything, and pretty much being able to get back on my dirt bike and, you know, and have a ride. But got the news I didn't want to hear, and that was, you know, you're going to need a bone graft. So I just seriously just felt like freaking crying. Like, I was just so over it then. And yeah, rang the people that were close to me, and they also couldn't believe it. They thought I was joking, that, you know, I was going to have to go in for my 8th operation in like 2 years. And so, you know, I was in Sydney, you know, living down there. My girlfriend lives down there, and went to visit her for a little bit, and just started seeing like a bit of redness and stuff around my leg. And you know, I sent some photos to the surgeon, Laurie, and he was a little bit stressed about it, so I ended up having to book my flights and fly straight back home. And that's pretty much where I am now. Got a bit of a scare. We thought it may have been an infection, and we're still a little bit unsure. Everything's come back positive, but they've got me on antibiotics for, you know, a couple of days here and a couple of nights, just to make sure everything's fine. But I'm sure everything will be fine, and get back out of here and start training again. Been spending a lot of time with my trainer down the coast that my dad and I trained with through my whole junior career, and we won a lot of championships and a lot of races together. And, you know, I think training with him up and now until the 2013 Supercross series is going to be, you know, really, really good, and going to be super fit and healthy, and really, really just looking forward to giving myself a lot more time than I have over the last couple of years. So, you know, this time I will be 100% ready and fit, and just, yeah, can't wait, looking forward to it. And just pretty much doing this video for all my fans and the guys that, you know, follow me and stick behind me. And yeah, just a bit of an update, and keep posted for the rest of the road to recovery to hopefully a successful 2013 Supercross series.